we have to figure out of all of the statements that are listed here that have to be true for any scaled copy of Q of polygon P. So they're giving us polygon P. We'll notice the angle measures, the shape of it, and then we're going to go through the list here. So the side lengths are all whole numbers. Well, they don't give us any information about the original side lengths for P, and you could have a scale factor that's a fraction that would give you a fraction for your scaled copy, so that's out. The angle measures are all whole numbers. Well, you'll notice here from the labels that all of the angle measures are whole numbers, so that one is certainly true. That Q would have exactly one right angle, and that is also true because P has exactly one right angle. For D, if the scale factor between P and Q is 1/5, then each side length of P is multiplied by 1/5 to get the corresponding side length of Q. And that's exactly how you'd figure out those side lengths if they were given to us. So that is certainly true. For E, if the scale factor is 2, each angle is multiplied. You never multiply angles. Corresponding angles are congruent. They don't change in size, so E is not an option. And finally, Q has 2 acute angles and 3 obtuse angles. So acute angles are angles that are less than 90, and obtuse angles are angles that are bigger than 90 but less than 180. And you'll notice here that we have one right angle, which we already talked about in part C. We have 2 obtuse angles because we have 125 and 135, and we have 2 acute angles, and that is the 35 and 80, and then we also have one reflex angle. So this is not a true statement because it's saying that there are 3 obtuse angles, and that's not true because that other angle, the 250, you can see this little line here, indicates that it's a reflex angle, so that's not it. So in terms of selecting all the statements, B, C, and D are the only ones that work.